So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. Just got back from a little mini vacation. We were gone for 3 days. So we did this Saturday puzzle in the car. And today's Monday puzzle is in the car. And I'll be trying to get those uploaded, edited, and uploaded as soon as we finish with the Sunday grid. But wanted to save the Sunday grid for when I got back to the studio because that is a massive, massive grid. And we didn't want to actually be sitting there taking 3 hours on a 2-hour drive to Prague. But yes, Prague is a wonderful city. I've always said that my soul city was Paris. Perhaps London. I love them both dearly. But I can't really think about London because my wife would be suicidal with all that gray. So Paris might be the place, right? You know, where my heart just belongs along with, you know, the woman of my dreams. But Prague might be a close runner-up, if not an even match. I mean, there is something really cool about that city. And I heard more Spanish there than I ever heard Czech, which is the craziest thing. But it was nice to be able to use my Spanish because I don't get a whole lot of opportunities in Germany. So that was really cool. We went to an ice bar and drank vodka, which was not in either of our purview for drinking straight out of a glass made of ice. Or it being, I don't know, 20 below 0 centigrade. I mean, it was cold. But it was just fun. We went to an absinthe bar, and you know, I had both a French and a Czech version of the absinthe cocktail. That was a lot of fun. I mean, we just went and saw all kinds of cool stuff, and the public art was out of the world. And so it was nice to take a break, but it's nice to be back. I love it here in the Solver studio, and so, like I said, we're going to try to get the Saturday and the Monday grids up after this, assuming that the audio didn't fail us on the drive back in the car. But nevertheless, I am having a Negroni, absolutely one of my favorite cocktails on this planet, because it's already getting to be, you know, kind of later in the day, and I just wanted to get right to the puzzle. So we had a lovely dinner, and now I'm having a lovely Negroni. So please do, come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. Let's see what we've got today for our grid. We will resume the dictionary.com word of the day tomorrow because honestly, it's just trying to get back and get into a routine. So we have a grid called A Man of Character. Okay. And Danny J. Rooney, not familiar. Wordplay column below says A Man of Character, Danny J. Rooney's debut, Times puzzle never misses. Okay, Caitlin Lovinger. Let's see what we got. Let's go ahead and hop onto our grid and see what has befallen us here. I love to see when new constructors make it into the New York Times. Is there a finer apex, Acme? Is there anything higher? You know, I published an essay in the Atlantic about 8 years ago, and then I just stopped writing them. Like, what's the point? Where else can I go besides the Atlantic? You could argue the New Yorker, and I'd say, yeah, right there, though. I mean, there's nothing more. I mean, so, I don't know. I think you get in the New York Times, you're pretty good to go. Okay, so maximum extent in an idiom. All right, let's see. Win for an away team. Okay, we're going to have a tough one, aren't we? Sea Adventure novel by Herman Melville. 4 letters. Omu? Let's check that, see if it does. It's human in a saying. To err is human. Well, that is the theme for what I do for a living as a high reliability organizational subject matter expert when it comes to clinical operations. That's what I do. I'm always thinking to err is to human, and how do we reduce those things? Because the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States, I'm not kidding about this, is preventable medical errors, and that's why I'm passionate about my job. Winsome. Is this an L? Maximum extent? Yeah, this could be to the hilt. If we've got the hilt, I'm going to go for winsome as lovable. We'll see. If I'm wrong, I'll hit the delete key. pretty good with that too. That doesn't bother me anymore. Wow, what a milquetoast way to put it. I'm over it. Okay, got it. Good for you. Good for you. But are you really? We should talk about that. How does that make you feel? Win for an away team. Okay, so maybe a home loss. Those hurt the worst. They really do. Guide for writing a perfect letter. Oh, a little surprised we don't have a question mark behind this one. If this is indeed a stencil. I think it might be. We can do a quick check, which I always do. High school subject blank and blank. I haven't got a clue. I went to high school for a year, then went to college. Got bored with it. Base figure for short. How about a non-commissioned officer? Dear Lord, His Majesty's beard is out of control. Okay. So maybe a high school subject. Device for cutting bangs. I think we've got a silencer here. Now that's clever too. That's actually very clever. So maybe we've got English here. And that G-O, of course, we're going to have to say God save the king or something, right? His Majesty. Let's see. What wine or citrus adds to a sauce? And that would be acid. Just ask the bear. Oh, bear will tell you. We went from 0 to 60, say. Do we have aged? Might be a new one on me. Hairstyle helpers could be gels. I think we got aged. I love it. Actually, aged is in a mock-up draft of my latest construction. I might have to get that out of there now. I was thinking of doing something similar. I guess it's out now. A pop could be per. Actor Pascal. How about Pedro? By the way, I ask this question all the time, but I'm dead serious. When is the next Mandalorian coming out? Gotta know. Gotta know. Whiled away the hours. What do you think? It's loafed? I don't know. Let's see. Suitable, I guess. Big events on Wall Street. How about initial public offerings? IPOs. Greatest potential accomplishment metaphorically. Everest? Give me a second to, what are we talking about here? Okay, we're climbing Mount Everest. Got it. Pick up at school. That's clever too. I learned. Okay, Danny J. Rooney, you are killing me with all the clever. Very nice. Thirst could be to yen. Don't flick that cigarette over here. How about move your ash? I don't know. Let's see. Full of tension. Yeah, that could be taut. And taut as in tight, full of tension, not taught as in learnt. Anyway, just saying. So, suitable, I guess. Oh gosh, talk about a meh personality. How about it'll do? We'll try it, we'll check it, we'll see. Different could be other. And gave medicine could be to have dosed. And while, yeah, I think we do have loafed. I was halfway kidding about that. I think we do have move your ash. Well, that's nice. Abbreviation on a paper tray could be LTR. That's in a letter. A rump could be a patoot. Some patoots are cute. Like the patoot sitting behind me. The one attached to the other person. I have a non-existent patoot. It's like an old saying, as the British would say, it is skinny arse kid from Dallas, Texas, basically, right? So... And we got a poke bowl, maybe? Let's see. I see 4 letters in poke. I'm like, why not? Small storage unit could be a bite. Start of a pirate chant. Yo ho, in a bottle of rum. Very nice. So what do we got here? Sounds of amazement. Ooze. Got it. Tracking. There I am in the photo. Okay. That's me. Maybe. Kiss could be a smooch. We had kissing in it was either the Saturday or the Monday grid on the drive home. Winter hours in Connecticut. I guess we're talking about Eastern savings time. And incredible. This mosquito net didn't let in even one bug. What a mesh. What a mesh. Move your ash. Sounds like Sean Connery, actually. Lots and lots could be, let's see, container weight, Terry. So lots and lots could be a ton. And so therefore, favorite drink of 11 across. Well, who is it? Let's get this over with. Secret agent first introduced in 1953. Of course. If it comes to, just expect that if I say anything, it'll probably be related to whatever it is that we're doing. It's just becoming more and more clear. It's eerie. Beam on a bottle could be Jum. Langston Hughes poem, I Too Am America. Late jazz singer, I think that's Cleo Lane. I'm a huge jazz fan, though. That would make sense. And so writer Earl Stanley Gardner. And Tres Leches. Speaking of more Spanish, it's just nice to see it. Computer shortcuts could be macros. All right. I'm thinking that we kind of wiled this down here. Spread through out. Maybe permeate. Do we have an E here? Adriatique. Le me. Okay. Got the C there. Greaves and cuisses, but not gauntlets and helmets. That's right, because gauntlets go here, helmets go up here. So we must be talking about leg armor. Bit of work could be an erg, an ek. Imitate could be to ape, perhaps. Zest could be appeal. This is a clever grid, and this is not your typical Sunday fare. I mean, this kind of falls more in line with what I would say maybe a light Friday. So I think 83 down is permeate, spread throughout, yes, and then therefore I feel like we have composure under pressure could be a plumb. First thing I did when I got home is I unpacked my crap. But since we travel all the time, I mean, we have traveling down to like just the nitnoid science, right? And, always in style, always in comfort, but always well prepared and easy to unpack and stay organized too. Everything's got a place, everything went where it's at, right? It's fun. It took me all of 4 minutes to get my crap together into the dirty clothes, and then off to get a manicure I went, because I did not find a single nail salon just on the streets of the Altstadt in Prague, Czech Republic. It was crazy, because I was going to stop and get a manicure for sure. Williamson, who played Merlin in Excalibur. Who was that? Nicole? I don't remember. Relative of an adder. How about an asp? Well, we know an asp is going to be in every grid. We just had it, I think, in both Saturday and on Monday's grid. So it's going to be there. It'll just be there. Comics cry of dismay. And where did we get that? Was that from Kathy? She was always, ack! Or was it that cat that did the ack thing? I cannot remember. I've ever been much on comics. I liked Non Sequitur. Was okay in the 90s. And of course I loved whatever the one was that was always political. Doonesbury? I can't remember. Grew up on the far side. I don't know. I always get my cartoon fun from the New Yorker. That seems to be where most of the fun is. Evita role for Antonio Banderas would be Che Guevara. So, Green Gemstone. Oh, gosh. Are these Paragos or Paradots? I can never, ever remember. Blank Royale, Cocktail. Oh, that would be Shotzi's favorite on the planet. The Kir Royale. She just said, drink this, too sweet. But when we're on vacation, yeah, I'll take 5 Aperols. Right on, Well, I do the same thing. When we take a little mini vacation or whatever, I tend to eat 2 meals a day, which is strange for me because I always eat 1, usually in the late afternoon, and that's it. Now, I don't go jumping into any kind of carbohydrates or anything. I mean, I stay clean to what my definition of clean is for me. But I'll tell you what, I will eat twice. Just dropped off some of your newly buffed Knight's Protection. I don't know at all what this is going to be, but I just think this is great. I got to tell you, Danny J. Rooney, I'm loving this so far. It could be a shining something or other. So, okay, why don't we put Nicole in, which is where I was kind of going with that. Now I got to figure out this green gemstone. Is it a Peridot or a Perigo? I don't know. Biblical kingdom near the Dead Sea sounds like Edom to me, so I'm going to go with a Peridot. But it's funny, if I had a G there, I'd be calling it a Perigo. Why don't I call it a Peridot? Feature of this puzzle, circled squares when connected by a single line. It visually represents 111 across. So I guess we're talking about James Bond, and I see double O's everywhere. So let's put in a double O. And he is by far our favorite. I don't know. What do you want me to call James Bond? I mean, it's not just pop culture. It's not just, the most famous secret agent of all time, etc. But it's like it's just part of the Anglo-American, mythos, if you will. I mean, I love Omega watches because I am an actual watchmaker, amateur. I've never done it professionally, but I can. I just don't. But and I wear an Omega not because of James Bond, but because it's probably the finest watch on the planet. When it comes to timekeeping, it's just wonderful, right? Unless you get into the Vacheron Constantin, Audemars Piguet, that kind of thing. But down where the rest of us live, the Omega. Yeah, I'd rather have an Omega than a Rolex, right? And they're comparable all the way around. So I really don't see the point. I love Rolex. My mother wears one. I have many friends that wear them. I mean, they're wonderful watches, and they keep their value. But the fact that James Bond wears an Omega, yeah, that's right. That's how I feel about it. Okay, so we've got shined here so far with dropping off your newly buffed Knight's Protection. So what do we got? Stitching on a Cardinals cap. And don't tell anybody. This is just between the two of us here, all right? But I'm a Cardinals fan. St. Louis all the way. Because I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, I'm a Rangers fan by default. But St. Louis, yeah, that's where my heart is. When I was a child, I loved the Padres. You know why? They had cool uniforms. That's all it takes for a 5-year-old to be impressed. They looked military-like, kind of khaki. They looked like Navy officers or something to me. I don't know what I was thinking. Can you offer me anything bigger than skiffs, dinghies, and pontoons? Okay. Maybe this is a D going down. Far from bright, could be dull, it could be drab. Oh, I don't know. Firmly planted. Well, if it's drab, we could have rooted. And our plants all survived not being watered for 3 days. But that's miraculous in and of itself. Far from bright. Okay, I'm going to go with drab. And hero's partner in myth. I'm going to go with Leander to start. But as I always say, kids, you can always delete it if it's wrong. So it's always getting into hot water. What do you think? That's maybe a tea bag. Let's try it. Looks good to me. But we'll see if it actually works. A university in New Rochelle, New York. Oh, well, that's a classic from the 90s. That was always in there. And RPI used to make it in there a great deal as well. Next thing you know, we'll have a bunch of oleos and Obergefell versus, I think this was Hodges, the marriage equality. I always try to stay on top of those things. So could I have, maybe let's try a have in here and let's see what we get on the ups and downs. Perfect match, no idea. Well, we could just come up here and just finish what we started. Non-free range farm fixture. How about a feedlot? And boy, I tell you what, I think every feedlot ought to just be compelled to play the Brahms Funeral March. I mean, you know what the feedlot's for, right? I mean, it's dum 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 da dum. Yeah, give me this Darth Vader thing instead. I want that one. Yeah. Haha, too funny. How about laughing my A off? Okay, so incredible. I think we do have what, a mesh. Spoils could be loot. And exhibiting some force could be coercive. And let's see, part of a personal air filtration system. Do we have a nose hair in here? I think that's clever. And I also think it's kind of disgusting. Yeah, we have CNN News Central. Degree in math, the nth, and I think we have a nose hair here. And that's just something that I don't know. If you're as manicured as me, you shouldn't have any. Nor should you have any cuticles. Or anything, really. I mean, you know, try to keep it together, but wow. Blank America, and so can you. Stephen Colbert bestseller. I think this is I Am America. I am a fan of his. ER VIPs, probably MDs. I'm sure there's a lot of osteopaths that would take umbrage. But nevertheless, zealous could be avid. It's right on a square could be the angle. And what do we got here? Some skincare products. You can call it toners all you want to, but the original is witch hazel. And as someone who really enjoys doing live theater but is unable to do so in Germany because it's all state employees. I mean, if you graduated a degree in drama, which essentially I did, though I've majored in Elizabethan poetry, but I spent 4 years reading Shakespeare. But if you do that in Germany, you can apply and become part of the Actors Guild, and then you get to be an actor. But if you're just some Johnny-come-lately, if I were a German immigrant in, say, Cleburne, Texas, I could just go down to the plaza and try out for a role, and if I'm good, I'm good. Give me the part. Germany, ain't gonna talk to me, because I don't belong to the Federal Guild, which I think is kind of cool. Airing could be on TV. I don't know though for sure. Let's see. That TV is almost a thing that's just used to be using. We use TV here for streaming services. All 50 of them that we have subscription to because we wanted to save money on cable. Do we need Paramount Plus? Yeah, absolutely. Do we need Hulu? Absolutely. Fubo? Well, we got that too. We got them all. Just in case. Wait a minute, Disney has free Hulu? Oh, we better drop the Hulu and just keep the Disney. You know, trying to be prudent. Tiny and scurrying, perhaps. Do you see that in there? I was thinking this is the first time in my entire life I've ever seen ant-like in a grid. Though it is fairly unremarkable, so perhaps I've seen it before. End of an academic address. Well, like an asp, EDU is going to be in every single grid that we ever get. New Zealand parrot that can solve logic puzzles. And that's I've been meaning to study these things. Okay, we got to make note of that, Shotzi. We've got to learn about I think it's a Kia. It can solve logic puzzles. It's a bird. Eau de vie. So the water of life, and then we've got indignation, could be ire. Okay, just dropped off some of your newly buffed Knight's Protection. I bet this is actually shined, shield, delivered. Oh yeah. Why not? Let's try it. Here I am, baby. Shine, shield, delivered. I'm yours. Yeah, I like it. I like it very much. That's great. I know I don't have the voice of an angel, but I can somewhat carry a tune. And I'm glad you don't have a problem with me singing on occasion. Thank you. Favorite drink of 111 across, and of course that would be a martini, of course shaken, not stirred, because we got to get a little bit of water in there from the ice so that it can kind of water itself down so I can be ready to fight at the moment's notice and then drive my Aston Martin very incredibly fast without wrecking. So, company originally named Blue Ribbon Sports, and I have been wondering when I was going to get to use this useless factoid. Nike. Nipsey Russell's role in 1978's The Wiz. And I'm assuming, since I don't know who Nipsey Russell is, and I've never seen The Wiz, I'm assuming The Wizard of Oz and Tin Man will fit into there. Let's hope. Allergic reaction could be an itch. So whenever you get an itch to do something bad, you can just tell everybody it was an allergic reaction to boredom. I was bored. Certain URL ending. Well, it's not going to be .edu, will it? So what do we got? Let's see. More in need of a sticky roller. That's funny. Shotzi, my love, have you ever heard of a sticky roller before? Well, like a lint roller. But have you ever heard it called a sticky roller? Because I have not.
Not really, but I can see very easily.
Oh, I can too, but I'm just wondering if you're watching from the Northeast or the Northwest or any part of the United States or the world, we have a global audience, that uses a sticky roller. Because I use a lint roller. In fact, there's a lint roller in my dressing room right now where I get ready every morning, and it might be somebody you want to clean myself off. So I use this lint roller. But this is saying more in need of a sticky roller, so I'm assuming we're talking about lintier. And I'm just wondering if they're trying to say, well, I can't say a lint roller, so therefore more in need of a sticky roller. If that's the case, great. But if there's a place somewhere where you're actually talking about, I need a sticky roller. Anybody get the sticky? Where'd the sticky roller go? I'm all got cat here where, you know, and you're asking for a sticky roller. I'd like to know.
Well, it'd probably be like me. I use slang for a lot of things, and I think that would apply here.
It might. It might. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
just because we haven't said it.
That's what I'm asking. I want to know. Inquiring minds, right, and all that. So adorn could be to bedeck. We came up with the term in our pop culture about 10 years ago or 15, I don't know when it was, but everything was being bedazzled. We were sticking glitter or sequins or, I don't know, gemstones on everything. Oh, ideal match, or ideal mate maybe for a perfect match. I get it. So what took place 35 years ago when I met my Shotzi? I said, that's my ideal mate. And she said, how am I going to get this guy to leave me alone? Somehow or another, persistence paid. Bank security feature. Bank. Oh, a levy. Man, and this is really good stuff, Danny J. Rooney. I hope I'm right after making such a big deal out of it. Got an area code. Area is another one that's going to get in there, right? Going to have an area, we're going to have an EDU, we're going to have an ASP, right? I'm not sure exactly which day it was, Saturday or today's, but we had one of those in there as well, an area. I made a joke about laying carpet. Shout of triumph, I don't know, maybe a ha, I have no idea. So I think we've got ourselves a God Shave the King, if that's true. Port on the Adriatic would be Bari, and then God Shave the King. Kal-El, we got Superman's birth name, very nice. Mid-Atlantic State Capital, so we're talking about Dover. Hey, Dover, Queen Sue, isn't that close to you? That's good stuff. Brand of bubbly. I mean, it's Maryland. I get it, but I'm just saying. I mean, it's kind of close-ish. Oh, let's see. Brand of bubbly. Maybe Moe. A good one might generate good karma. Okay, good deeds. JFK prediction. Oh, estimated time of arrival or maybe departure. Either one it would be predictive. Can you offer me anything bigger than skiffs, dinghies, and pontoons? Could I have a... Are we gonna say a ship? I mean, are we having like a... We're really doing a Sean Connery thing. 14 no's in a yes is a yes, right? I mean, that was Sean Connery's thing, right? Yes, yes. I mean, I think that seems like what we're doing here. I mean, move your ass. What a mess. You know? I mean, it's like we're just doing this in here. God save the king. It feels like we're doing a Sean Connery thing. We got James Bond in here. Why not? I mean, it seems like it's all coming together. I'm like, we're going to have a ship. Like he wants a sip, but maybe it's a ship. Improvise a la Ella Fitzgerald. Wow! We just had her. I think in the Monday grid, maybe the Saturday. I don't know. We just did 2 on the road. Okay. All right. We're going to scat. As in jazz scat. Sizable wine orders. Let's get a carafe of something good. Avocado variety. You know, these are huge here in Germany. I can't imagine why Haas would be huge in Germany. Portfolio holding for short. How about an IRE? Why did I have to give that an Irish accent? We're not talking about the Irish Republican Army here. The IRE. Oh, okay. What was the old joke? You're driving through Belfast and the guy stops the car and he's got like a submachine gun. He's wearing a balaclava and he's like, you know, are you Catholic or Protestant? Neither. I'm Jewish, atheist. Are you a Catholic Jewish atheist or a Protestant Jewish atheist? I mean, you're going to be on the carpet, right? You know, and for some reason I saw an individual retirement account and had to immediately assign it to the IRE. So give a bad review could be Japan. And a real ladies man. Okay, it's a Casanova. And those who hunt and gather. How about foragers? Foragers. Let's see what we got. This is a clever grid. I'm loving it. And I can feel, I got a little bit of energy in my steps, kind of nice. I mean, feel it's good. Yeah, I had a couple of days to just do nothing but eat, drink, and be merry. Unburdened could be to rid. Alas, it is true. Okay, alas, another one we just had to, I mean, I swear. Maybe sadly, yes. Maybe figs most people have memorized. So how about social security numbers? And Crosswordland would have filled in for us over this time period, but he's like doing a Comic-Con thing, the Dragon Con, I think, had been doing that and somewhere down in the American Southeast. And so, it's like, we just had to take some time off, but that won't always be the case. Member of a watery quintet. Oh, how clever. How about Yuri? Feature of many a gloating movie villain, maybe an evil grin. So you can't win them all. And zebra features that mirror their body stripes could be manes. Not to be confused with the Irish potty mane. That was a hero. Sea eagle, maybe an I don't know. Unruly as a beard. Well, I don't know. God save the queen, right? What are we doing? Let's see. Heart could be a crux or a core. What do we got here? Classic 111 across portrayer whose iconic accent is suggested by the answers to the italicized clues. Of course. It's kind of funny I picked up on that, but I think we all did. Sean Connery. Yeah, wow. Yeah, interesting. So we gotta know, so let's go with the core. And let's see, for heart, just in case we forgot. And so many get rich quick offer. Could be a scam. Platform for Super Mario Brothers for short, NES. And so what do we got here? Charm. This is going to be to endear, I imagine, but wouldn't it have been nice if it had been no fear? Remember that stuff that was going around? You know, it was just no fear on the back of the windshield and stuff like that, or the back window of a truck, usually with having the truck testes hanging back there with a no fear kind of a thing, right? You know, I don't know. So let's go with endear. Bow. Ah, steady. Got it. Theatrical constructions could be sets. And now we've got a corporate bigwig, which is a CEO. Just talked about that too. We just had a clue. It was like a corporate bigwig or something like that. And I was like, is it 3 or 4? Because I was solving blind. She's like, it's 4. I'm like, then an exec. Otherwise, it'd be like a CEO or a CFO or a COO. But yeah, it's amazing. It's finding the patterns, right? Gotta find the patterns. Muse of love poetry, and my personal muse outside of Shotzi would be Erato versus Angst. Paris's Dôme de Paris as an example. I think we're talking about an arena, though the two of us have never been. Debate ending reply could be says me. Sly schemes could be ruses. Man, I hope we didn't fat finger anything. I have been really kind of lax today. And we're not going to find it. We're just going to reveal where the error is if I did. Just letting you know. Is that a certainty? Grounded to second often would be an easy out. So how about a you sure? You sure? I'm 99.999999999% sure. So you don't know? No. Thank you. Japanese noodle, udon. Well, I feel like it's a public service announcement. If someone says, I'm 99.9999999% sure, it means they don't know. 100% they know. Unless they're lying. You're onto something here, kid. I've heard that a few times. Well, that sounds like Harrison Ford did it. You're onto something here, kid. School attended by both 111 Across and his creator. That's right. That is an Ian Fleming school. Eaton. And modern pet name, I don't know. Aston Martin is an auto. Okay, so Bay. Let's see how we did. How we do, Bob? So we got a big 007 here. That cool? Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. I honestly thought to myself that this was this might have been more on a Friday level, like a lighter Friday when it comes to what made it what it was. But whenever I got to Move Your Ash, and I started thinking about, what a mesh or so on and so forth. I mean, it just all kind of came together it was listening to the answers, and I was thinking of Family Guy, right? You know, I mean, I always kind of picking on Sean Connery in a way, you know, it's too late, the damage is done. You know, it's going on there, right? And I was like, this sounds like Sean Connery, and it really kind of fun, right? You know, but what a great grid. On the whole, everything here was very clever. It wasn't an insurmountable grid. The construction itself was quite beautiful. all I'm simply saying is that it just wasn't a typical Sunday fare. When I think of a Sunday puzzle, I think Wednesday level of difficulty. Sometimes you get rebuses, so maybe Thursday, right? You know, at the worst on a Friday, right? You know, but sometimes they really throw some whiz bang groovies towards you and whatnot. You can't really do anything about that, so it's kind of a fun thing. But on the whole, yeah, fantastic grid all the way around. I absolutely loved it. So good job, Danny J. Rooney, your first one out of the chute here. I mean, this is great. What a wonderful, wonderful debut grid. We'll bring down our Bannière d'Adieu and we'll let class out since we're already into this thing like 40 minutes. That said, it's good to be home. Really taking an indefinite break from The Guardian for a while. It seems like I'm not making any progress on that puzzle, on those cryptics at all. I'm going to have to really get into them and get better and better at two things. British vernacular, which might as well just be called English, since that's where it originated from. And the other thing I need to get better at is I've got to get better at going through the clues. Right now, it seems like 9 times out of 10, I'm solving a cryptic, but I'm not really solving it. What I'm doing is I'm spotting patterns. I go through this incredibly obtuse and circuitous mess of clues and stuff, and I finally get something that feels right. You got 6 letters or whatever the case may be. That could be this, right? You know, and then I start working off of that, looking for patterns. I'm not fully appreciating the experience, and so therefore I don't feel like I'm offering anyone out there anything other than me sitting and staring blankly at the screen. So we'll be taking an indefinite period of time away from the Guardian Cryptic so that I can actually get better at it and understand it better, and maybe be more of a bellwether for others who are just getting into it. But right now, I can't teach people to spot patterns. So, I mean, I can't do anything like that at all. So that's a little on the sad side. But on the whole, we're really just very excited to be back home. Glad to be back in the Solver studio. Tomorrow's a whole new day at work. And to me, work is not work because work is a passion. And I think I explained that earlier, why that is. So as it is, it's just been a remarkable last 3 days out on the road, going to Prague, hanging out, just seeing and doing. If you're thinking of going to Prague yourself, the Manes Hotel, Manes, beautiful, wonderful. The staff are amazing. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking of getting someplace that's within easy walking distance to everything. That was a great place to be. And Olga at the front desk, yeah, she was good. She took care of us like so well, right? It was amazing. So that said, until we see you tomorrow for the Tuesday puzzle, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. And we will see you then. Until then, just be nice to strangers, of course, as always, right? It's nice to do that. And remember, the thicker the foreign accent that you are encountering, the braver the soul who's speaking it. Be well out there, and we'll see you on the morrow. Cheers. Stay good.